Hey YouTube, it's your girl Dr. J, and I thought I'd come and do a quick video on a dance unit that I'm putting together for my daughter. All three of my kids have been taking dance for about 2 years, but the boys take it more for kind of physical fitness and sport and just having fun, and she's a little bit more serious about it. So I wanted to do a unit for her so she could learn a little bit more about the art of dance itself and also work on some of her dance at home. And so I have this binder. She's going to decorate the cover because we're just now starting this unit. But what I did is I put tabs here because we're going to be doing ballet, tap, modern, jazz, African, and ballroom, and just various other genres of dance. And so I've already planned out the first unit, which is ballet, and that should take us about 5 weeks to get through it. Here's you can see my plan is all on this page, and I talk about what we're going to do. And for each unit, we're probably going to do some of the same things, which is first start with the history, and I've already put the link down of a good source where we can get that information. Some of the major terms, and I'll show you guys some of the books that we're going to be using, plus I identified a website for that. Ballet movements, and I have a book that goes through kind of the big movements for ballet. Hands-on unit, she's going to be doing a lap book, and I actually found the lap book. I've already printed out all the pages and everything for the lap book. I got it for free off of homeschoolshare.com, and it had everything that I wanted, including one of the things that I had planned for her to do was to do a study on some of the major pieces. And the three major pieces for ballet are Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, and the Nutcracker. And so all of those, including all the acts, are already in this lap book, so that'll be really nice for us. And some of the terms and things that we're going to be going over are already done, which is nice. And they have a timeline in it as well. And so there was a timeline that you fill in yourself and a timeline that was already filled in. And so what I decided to do was to let her use the timeline that was already filled in, but then we're going to do our own timeline with different things that she finds in the biographies that she's going to be doing in some of the different sort of history of ballet that she's going to be doing. And you'll understand that a little bit more when I show you our books that we're going to be using. Another thing that we're going to be doing with hands-on is that she's going to be, I found a craft for making your own tutu, and it's no sewing, so that's great because she knows how to sew and I don't. So she's going to be making her own tutu, doing a hand print tutu painting, and also doing some ballerina girl crafts. And then she's going to be doing a biography for Misty Copeland and a biography for Jermel Johnson. And when I found Jermel Johnson's information, I also put in a bunch of YouTube clips so that we can see him. He is the first African American male principal dancer for the Philadelphia Ballet. And so I got that because it was a modern person who we can find a lot of information about. I didn't have to put links in here for Misty Copeland because we have I know where to find information for her. And the last thing that she'll be doing is choreographing a piece and filming it, and she'll be doing that for each of the genres that she goes over. And some of the things that I got at her ballet school, they give them report cards. So I have her 2 report cards from 2 of the classes that she's taking, and we looked at what are the things that she excels in. And she excels in really good. They said chasse, battement, releves were really good. Straight legs, in leaps. So she's really good with those. But her teachers had the same feedback for what she needed work in, which was pointing toes and stretching, including needing to have a more defined split. And so to help her with those things, I got Kids Workout Yoga, and it has 3 classes, beginning, intermediate, and advanced, with over 100 poses, because yoga is really good for stretching and getting a more defined stretch. So I thought this would be good, and it's kids in the video, so we're going to be using that. I also got this book, Dance Anatomy, and it's a neat book It's an illustrated guide to improving flexibility, muscular strength, and tone. And I got it because it was really good at showing what should be happening in the moves that you do, like what muscles you should be using. And then it tells you how do you do it. It has safety tips and the dance focus of what do you use these exercises for in dance. So I thought we can have some fun with that and add it into even some of our anatomy study that we do. I also got her some reading books for her to look at. This is Ballerina Dreams, From Orphan to Dancer. And this one is A Dance Like Starlight. And it is a story about a young African-American girl. Her mother sewed for, these were times when we still had segregation, and her mother sewed for a dance school, and she loved watching the dancers, even though she wasn't allowed to dance because she was African-American. But the dance teacher saw her, and so he would let her take classes in the back of the room. And then she learned about Janet Collins, who was the first colored prima ballerina at the Metropolitan Opera House, and how she got to go see her, and that really encouraged her to dream big and stuff. So I thought my daughter would enjoy reading that. Because she's going to be doing Misty Copeland as one of the biographies that she's going to be doing, I got her Firebird, and this is the children's book that was written by Misty Copeland. Misty Copeland currently has out an autobiography with the same name, but I wanted something that was more that my daughter could read herself, or we could read together. And so I got this because it was just a fun book, and since she's going to be learning more about Misty Copeland, I thought this was great to hear Misty Copeland tell her own story. Another thing that I got, we had already had this book, and I pulled it out to put in the unit because it's T is for Tutu, the ballet alphabet. And I know it seems like it's for really young girls, but the information inside is actually really dense and really packed full of great information. For instance, it talks about the history of ballet. It talks about some of the stories in ballet. It gives you the history of it. So the sidebars are, absolutely wonderful, and they're chock full. These are the sidebars, and they really have much more advanced information than what you would think to expect in like an alphabet book. So we're going to be doing that. And then this is First Lessons in Ballet. And my daughter's had this book, and she got it wet before, but we will be pulling this out because it's great for showing exactly how she should be looking for some dance moves, and it explains the dance moves well. It's a visual how-to book, and it's actually created for little kids that may not have access to dance classes. My daughter does, but I thought this was great for us to be able to practice at home, and I would know that I'm not telling her things that shouldn't be, or I'm not having her do the moves in ways that they shouldn't be done. So I thought that was great. And then my husband, he had picked up this for my daughter. This is Point magazine. It's for ballet dancers, but this one was really good because on the cover are 3 African-American female ballet dancers, and it's Beyond Role Models, Straight Talk from Ashley Murphy, Ebony Williams, and Misty Copeland on what it is like to be African-American ballerinas. Now, my daughter, she doesn't want to be a ballerina for her life, but this is something that she enjoys doing now, and so I thought, since she's doing it, she's loving it, she's having fun with it, why not incorporate that into her schoolwork as well, so she can learn some of the backstory with ballet, be able to practice at home, and improve in the way that she wants to improve, and have some fun with it. Now, with this unit, like I said, we're going to be doing some other forms of dance as well, so these are some of the resources that I started to collect for those. When we do ballroom, this is a fun video. It's called Mad Hot Ballroom, and I had actually saw this. My husband and I watched it one night on Amazon Prime, but sometimes those things go off of Prime, so I wanted to make sure that she had it. So I got it. It was like $5, I think, but it is about how some inner city students in New York learn ballroom dance, and they do a big competition and stuff like that. And it's a true kind of documentary about these kids' experience in learning ballroom dance. This is a book on Alvin Ailey, and I got this when we do modern because he will be one of our biography focuses. And then I got this. It's African American Dance and Illustrated History. And really good information, really fun pictures. It's just really good to provide some nice background and stuff. And then I got this video. It is from Kukua, and it is the ultimate African dance workout. And it's for youth. So this one is designed to teach some African dance moves to kids. So when we do a unit on cultural dances, including African dance, she'll be able to do this video. So I'll let you guys know how it goes, but I just wanted to share that with you guys so you can see some of the stuff that we do for electives and how I create those units. Like I said, we'll be probably spending 4 to 5 weeks on each form of dance. And since we homeschool year round, we'll see, how long it takes us to get through it. But I think it'll be fun, and hopefully she enjoys it. If she doesn't enjoy it, I'm not gonna force her through it because it is an elective and it's not that deep. But I think she'll really enjoy the unit. So hope this helps. This is Dr. J, and I'm out. Bye bye.